Hey there everybody, Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to the brand new series for December here in 2021 as we finish up the year. I've been struggling for the last couple days trying to fine tune this series and figure out what the hell to call it. So finally, like late yesterday afternoon, it finally dawned on me what I was going to do. And I think it's a pretty fun idea, and it'll kind of lead us into what we're going to be doing in January, which is going to all be about my favorite 30, how many days are in January? 30, whatever, however many days are in January, 30, 31, whatever the hell it is. My favorite 30 albums that turned 50 in 2022. So what I'm going to be doing in January each day is I'm going to run through each day a different album of my top favorites, albums that turned 50 in 2022. So we're going to go back to 1972 as a precursor to that. And seeing as last month we did a show or a series all about the most important 30 hard rock and heavy metal albums in history, I wanted to do something that gave some love to progressive rock, but I didn't necessarily want to do like the 31 most important prog rock albums, because I mean we've talked about that so much like on the In the Prog Seat show. So what I decided instead to do was do 31 progressive rock album stocking stuffers from 1971. So we're going to kind of pay tribute to those, my 31 favorite prog rock albums that turned 50 this year, that got released in 1971. Each one of these, if you don't have it, put it on your wish list. Hopefully your significant other or whoever, or your parent, will put it in one of your stockings for Christmas, right? So hopefully you're going to get some stuff here maybe you never listened to before. I'm sure some you have heard before if you are a classic prog rock fan. So each day a different pick. I've already got my list already set. So today we're going to go with the first one. These aren't necessarily in any order. They might be somewhat close to chronologically being released. So at the beginning of the month here, you're going to get some of the ones that were released in early 1971. And later in the month, you'll get the ones that came out later in the year. So my first one today came out February 5th, 1971. This is the second album from this British band. They're a band that we really have not talked a lot about on the channel over the years. I do plan on rectifying that. I have on my long list to do an album ranking from them in some sort. They've got a ton of albums, so I may not do the whole catalog, but I may give you like a top 10 or something like that. Barclay James Harvest. Once again, so that's the album with this kind of like a little butterfly right here. This is a 2-on-1, the first album and the second album. So once again, like I said, released in 1971, produced by Norman Smith for the Harvest label over in the UK, here on the Sire label. This, like I said, fairly new band at the time, comprised of John Lees on vocals, guitars, and recorder. You've got Les Holroyd on vocals, bass, guitars, and keyboards. Stuart Wooly Wolstenholme on vocals, mellotron, and keyboards, and Mel Pritchard on drums and percussion, along with the Barclay James Harvest Symphony Orchestra, led by Gavin Wright, conducted and musically directed by Robert John Godfrey. Now, over the years, Barclay James Harvest has kind of been labeled by many people as like a poor man's Moody Blues. And while I can see the similarities and the reason why people have always said that, but they don't really sound like the Moody Blues. Yeah, there are certain things. Yes, they do on some of the early albums use an orchestra. Click that. Yes, they use tons of mellotron. Click that, especially on the early albums. They do have multi-part vocal harmonies sang by a couple guys in the band. Check that. Their music is very melodic and lush, and it's not overly hard rocking or anything like that. Check that. And for a prog band, their music isn't overly complex, right? So check that. So you got all these similarities with the Moody Blues. But when you listen to a Barclay James Harvest song or album and you listen to a Moody Blues album, they don't sound alike really, because the voices are really different. The way they arrange the songs is really different. But like I said, there are enough similarities where I can totally get it. Once again, is one of their top albums in my opinion. It's just an absolutely lovely record with some outstanding songs. It's dripping with emotion. It's melodic as all hell. There's the orchestra adds a nice element. There's mellotron all over the place. There's some really, really tasty guitar soloing and guitar playing on the album. So it starts off with the wonderful She Said, which is 8 minutes and change. A great mini epic for the band. Just so good. Just really nice keyboards. Lots of drama. Passionate vocals. Terrific. Great guitar solo. Terrific song. Then you get Happy Old World, Song for Dying. Song for Dying is incredible. Again, very melodic, very memorable. The Killer Galadriel, which would even take on new life live if you have any of the live albums they released post this album. Really great. Perhaps my favorite song from Barclay James Harvest, Mockingbird, which is just achingly beautiful. There's no other way to describe it. You listen to Mockingbird, whether the original studio version, which has the nice orchestra, or you listen to the version from the live album that came out shortly thereafter this with the biting lead guitar leads and the mounds and mounds of mellotron and the just, the amazing chorus. It just gets you. Just gets you. Absolutely love it. Then you got Vanessa Simmons, another cool shorter track. Ball and Chain. That rocks a little bit, right? And then Lady Loves finishes it off. Not a very long album. It's, barely, 35 minutes, thereabouts, 12, 20, yeah, something like that. 35 minutes, something like that. But that's all it really needs to be. And every song is just a really pleasant listen. It's just proggy enough, right? It's got like a lot of the things we love about prog rock, but this is not, you'll never confuse this band with Yes or King Crimson or Genesis, right? They're not that type of band. They're more of like your just kind of art rock band with all these kind of symphonic elements. They throw little folky bits in there too as well. Just lovely stuff. So that is my pick for today, once again by Barclay James Harvest. Or if you want to see the hold on, because you want to see the album cover in its entirety, there it is. There's the guys in the band there. Good stuff. Great 70s band. Kind of overlooked, I would say. They've certainly been, not talked about enough here on Sea of Tranquility. And like I said, we'll take care of that in the weeks and months ahead. But so yeah, that is my pick for today. Day number 1. 31 classic progressive rock albums to stuff your stockings with here in December, all coming from 1971. Day 1. They turned 50 years old this year, so I've got 30 more for you. So stay tuned each and every day here. We'll get them to you a little bit earlier in the morning. It's been a kind of a busy morning for me. I would have normally liked to have this to you bright and early this morning, but starting tomorrow you'll get that. So stay tuned for that each and every day, and please let us know what you think of Barclay James Harvest once again. If you've never listened to this album, please go out and do so and come back and let us know what you think. I mean, that's the important thing. And hopefully this series this month will allow everybody a chance to kind of, go back to 1971 and either revisit albums very, very well and maybe haven't listened to again, or check out, because there's going to be some stuff on this list that for some of you might be pretty obscure. Yeah, you're going to see some of the usual suspects, obviously, because 71 was a great year for prog rock. But there's a lot of other lesser known gems that came out in 1971 that turned 50 this year that I'll be talking about. So stay tuned for that and more here on the channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell. We've got the link below to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, as well as the link to the Sea of Tranquility merch site, where you can go and grab a shirt, a hoodie, a hat, a cap, a coffee mug, stickers for yourself or for your loved ones just in time for the holidays. We are shipping all over the world, so no matter where you live, we can get stuff to you. So do it soon so you have it in time for the holidays. And what else? SeaOfTranquility.org. Please visit that. 23,000 plus reviews, celebrating 20 years this year. So in a couple weeks, I will no longer have to say that because we'll be on year 21. 21's not quite as special as 20, right? So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you real soon here on the channel. I am Pete Pardo. Have a good one. Bye-bye.